Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Lynn, and if you have come for the free Akashic record reading, you've come to the right place. And let's see who we have here. Hi, Elliot. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Priyanka. Hi, Laura Lee. Hi, Jill. Hi, Christina. Penny says she can't get on the Akashic record live. Why not? Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Joyce. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Christine. Hello, my darlings. Hi, Christina. Hi, Ciara. Let me see. Laura Lee, can you drop the thank you, baby. Yeah. Drop it in the class. Okay. So I've got a group of students. Laura Lee is in that class and she's going to get Penny in here. Okay. So my name is Lynn, and my journey with the Akashic Records began 40 years ago when I was 11 years old. And we are now being live streamed. Thank you so much, Bianca. My mom had a copy of a book that was called The Sleeping Prophet about Edgar Cayce. And Edgar Cayce was this incredible mystic who would go deeply into trance. And then he would be able to bring information back. He would go unconscious. He was channeling. And he would bring information back from the Akashic Records. And I was just fascinated by this at 11 years old. I don't know why it felt familiar. I don't know why it felt like home. I just knew that I needed to get my hands on it. And the only thing I knew about the Akashic Records was that there were these men in India that did readings. And I didn't have any plans to go to India for a long time. And then all of a sudden in 2017, a girlfriend of mine named Tiffany posted on Facebook, the land of all things. And she said, hey, I just got trained to read the Akashic Records. Does anyone want a free reading? And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, me. So I reached out to her and I was like, oh my God, Tiffany, how did you learn this? And she said, well, there's a woman named Linda Howe who wrote the quintessential book on how to read the records called How to Read the Akashic Records. And Linda trained this person who trained that person who trained this person who trained that person who trained me. I was like, oh my God, I'd love a reading. So she did a reading for me. And I was like, oh my God. It just felt like it confirmed everything that I had ever known or believed, because I'd gone on to study past lives and, had 29 certificates in 29 different disciplines, trying to hunt down the elusive Akashic Records. So I started following Linda Howe. In January of 2018, she's going to be doing a training. It's just very expensive, 4-digit, 3-month-long training. And I was like, I don't care. I'm all in. I'll, mortgage everything except my cat, keeping the cat. But I signed up for this thing and I was just blown away. There were 48 of us around the world. We trained with her for 3 months. It was ridiculously intensive. And I came out of it as an advanced Akashic Records practitioner. My very first time going into the Akashic Records, you say this prayer, part of it's aloud, part of it is silent. You go in and then these beings start jumping up and down, and they're really excited. They're screaming, halls of Amenti, halls of Amenti, halls of Amenti. I'm terrified out of my mind. I close the books as quickly as I can, close your Akashic Records, and I'm like, like, what just happened? So I reach out to my teacher, Linda, and she said, well, they're obviously just really excited to see you. Go back in and just ask them to slow down and calm down. So I went back in and I was like, hello. I was so scared. And I'm not usually, but whatever this was, it was definitely bigger than me. So I went back in and they said, we're just really excited to see you. And I had Googled Halls of Amenti once I figured out how it was spelled. And I found out that Thoth wrote about it in the Emerald Tablets. And so I bought all versions of the Emerald Tablets and I poured through them. And Thoth was a being who was in Atlantis. And when Atlantis was destroyed, he got in his little spaceship and he supposedly flew to Mount Shasta and lives, there with all these beings. And he and a bunch of people had actually gone to Egypt, and there was a whole Egyptian civilization. And, this all made sense to me because I had touched on it in past lives. But they said to me, you're a guardian of the Akashic Records, and one of your responsibilities is going to be to teach and to train people. So since 2018, I have taught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to read the Akashic Records. I've done thousands of readings. I've trained people to be able to read, not only for themselves, but for others. And there are a couple people that have even been trained to teach other people how to read. One of them is here. And she's averting my eyes. I think she wants to remain nameless, but I'll introduce her anyway. Mrs. Jill Amato is a woman that came into my life a couple of years ago, became a student of mine, and she's, when the student exceeds the teacher, she's absolutely remarkable. And in a past life journey, we actually found out that she was my teacher. So Jill, thank you for being here. I love you madly. Jill is one of the people that in my week, we trade sessions back and forth. She's that gifted, and she's just amazing, and I adore her. I love you.
We just had a doozy.
We
I
did.
love you
We
too.
did.
Thank you for the kind words, and they're reciprocated desperately to you.
Aw, I love you. And I just celebrated my 61st birthday in Las Vegas, where she happens to live. She was one of the attractions of going there. We had other girlfriends who flew in from around the country, and we celebrated all week long. And she took very, very good care of me. Anyone is lucky to have a friend like Jill in their life. And then I want to introduce you to Priyanka Gupta. Priyanka Gupta is one of the two extraordinary women that assist me with what I do with the hundreds and hundreds of people, from students to clients and everybody else in my life. Priyanka has been with me literally every single day for the past over 2 years. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary when I published on Facebook, I'm looking for a virtual assistant who is psychic, someone who can know me from the inside. And she reaches out and she responds to me, and I just felt really drawn to her. And I said to her, "Are you psychic?" And she said, "No." However, guidance said, "Yes, she is." And she's wildly psychic. And I said, "What made you respond?" And she said, "Because I know people from the inside." Don't tell her, but that's because she's psychic. Very good. And then the other adorable creature that I want to introduce you to is Laura Lee. And Laura Lee, um, Priyanka had actually gone away to work on a retreat with another friend of ours, another person who was in Las Vegas with us. And I needed some help with something. And Laura Lee came in and she just took me by storm. So Laura Lee and Priyanka now both work with me, and I'm absolutely blessed. I am covered 24/7, 365. What an absolute blessing. So I have a platform where I am a psychic medium and a full body trance channel. I think we have over 1,300 videos on YouTube. I read the Akashic records. I talk to dead people, ascended dead people, not like your grandmother, your grandfather, your aunt, or your uncle. Yes, well then that means that you have a very strong sense of clairsentience, because you're feeling all of the beings that are floating in for this meeting that we're having. This was preordained by our souls. If you're here, you're not here by accident. I am like a needle in the haystack, and for you to have found me, you have a divine appointment with your soul to be here. I promise you that. And I, I, I teach. I do something. It's not exactly healing. It's more like witnessing. I witness your divinity, and I help you calibrate to it. And I call that my healing modality. And then I mentor, which is where I do an offering where I both heal and teach you privately. And I have a lot of classes that run, and Jill is going to actually start teaching one of the classes, one of my cornerstone classes in November. So I'm very excited for that. And last night we just began the last class that I'm going to be teaching for a while, called Quantum Healing. So all of that in Quantum Healing, I actually teach you how to read the Akashic records for yourself. I teach you a technique that's called psychic surgery that helps you remove energetic blockages, physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. I teach you how to measure your clairs, how to measure how clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant, and claircognizant you are. I teach you how to read the Akashic records. I teach you how to do healing in the Akashic records that I call Akashic healing, where you can go into the past, you can go into the future, and you can look at simultaneous lifetimes. And then I teach people how to handle what I call holodynes, which are like entities, like self-organized information systems that have attached themselves to us with our soul agreement through different incarnations. And they've been handling things for us, but sometimes they're still trying to handle something and it's no longer an issue. So they can become a little troublesome. So we help send them back to the light. And then I teach a technique that's really, really gorgeous, which is called incident handling, which is about healing psychic trauma. So all that comes in that first class. And then there's 7 classes that I teach in a year. So that's everything that I do. And Priyanka said to me several months ago, "Why don't we start doing weekly master classes?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I love that idea." So we were doing Akashic records and we were doing psychic surgery. And then I just recently did one called Clearing the Clairs. Okay, this is the power of social media. So I go on TikTok, and I've got like 1,100 people on TikTok. And I said, "You know what? I'm going to offer a class called Clearing the Clairs I'm going to teach you how to measure your clairs. I'm going to teach you how you can move the dial on your clairs. I measure people from 0 to 10. And now I have to start measuring people from 0 to 500 because some people's numbers are blowing wide open. But all of a sudden 100 people signed up, and all of a sudden 200 people signed up, 300 and 400, 500 people signed up for that class. It was extraordinary. A whole bunch of people have come in to do some training. But the awareness is getting out there that you all have psychic abilities. You were born with them. There are reasons why you closed them down. There was trauma that happened to you. You may have had your eyes burned out, your tongue cut off, your ears, removed. You may have been torn limb from limb. You may have been burned. You may have been hung. You may have been drowned for your psychic gifts and abilities in other lifetimes. And we help heal that, and we help you recover those abilities. So that's what's possible with the kind of work that I do. I recently said to a mentor of mine, a very powerful woman, I feel like a weirdo. And she said, you are a weirdo. She said, but so am I. Those of us that are doing this work, we're considered weirdos. So someone actually looked up the word weird. Listen to this. In the word weird, the definition of the word weird is metaphysical. It's metaphysical. Like when something is weird, it's considered of like the quantum realm. So if you're one of my weirdos, welcome. I love you. I love you just for being here. I'm one of your queens. I put on the crown of the weird because I'm out here talking about channeling Jesus. I mean, I've always said to people, when I used to work in financial services, Joyce, I love you so much. Joyce is one of my weirdos, and I adore her. We got to meet when I was in Los Angeles through our dear friend Ellen. So I used to do estate planning, and I was a financial advisor and a stockbroker, and we used insurance as a way of doing estate planning for people. But if you want to clear a room, all you have to do is tell someone you sell life insurance, and everybody's gone. So I don't do that anymore. Now, if I want to clear a room, I tell people that I channel Jesus. They are gone. I'm telling you. So I am humbly, I humbly take on being the queen of the weirdos. I am paving the pathway for all of us. If I'm your people, welcome home. I love you. It's great to see you. You're here. We know each other. I promise you that. I promise you that. Our souls are connection, because nobody gets here by accident. It's impossible. And Priyanka can continue to resist the fact that she's as psychic as she is. But I'm literally thinking something and she'll message me and I'll be like, stop it. I was just thinking about that. Come on. Anyway, she's adorable. So welcome. Now, today is going to be Priyanka picking someone. She's going to flex her little psychic abilities. She's going to pick someone who I'm going to do a reading for. So here's what happens during the reading. As I said, there's a prayer that I learned. There are many, many ways to access the Akashic records, but the prayer that I learned it's holy for me. Not holy like the Catholic Church holy, but like it's how I, regardless of any circumstance, it's how I connect with the Akashic records. It has reverence for me. I love it and I respect it. It's the prayer that I teach. It's Linda Howe's prayer, and she has said, buy the book, teach it to the world. So I have her blessings for that. Are there other ways to get into the Akashic records? Absolutely. It's stepping beyond the veil. It's the willingness to open yourself up to the quantum realm. It's the willingness to open yourself up to conversations with your higher self and with your soul. And that is available for every single being. It happens to us when we go to sleep and when we ascend at night and we review like what happened during the day. But it can happen for you in a conscious state. And that's what I teach. So I teach that and so much more. So when I open the records, I will be channeling your masters, teachers, and loved ones, whoever it is. And Spirit has appointed whoever it is that's supposed to come forth today. And if it's not you today, come back. And I promise that someday it will be. Priyanka keeps a list. She's really good that way. And let's see what else. Priyanka, am I forgetting anything?
Did you want to talk about how you're an unconscious channel when?
Oh, yeah. So there are some people, and when they channel, they are awake and aware. But I made this deal with them many, many years ago that I was going to be an unconscious channel. So what happens is they literally come into my body and I am like scooped out like a little egg and they put me somewhere. And it's way, way, way. Like imagine if you're at a football stadium or like a rock concert and the people on the stage are like that big and you're like way hundreds of yards away, and you can kind of hear what's happening, but you don't retain any of it. So that's what happens for me. When I come back in, I may feel a little disoriented. You're going to see a change in the vocalization. They use my throat differently than I use it. There'll be a different languaging, a different patterning. There's a different energy. I learned channeling from one of my dear friends. I go to a meditation. It's April of 2017. And in the meditation, Pallas Athena shows up and she says, I am Pallas Athena. Will you come with me? And I figured, daughter of Zeus, I better say yes. She takes me underneath the water, shows me the civilization that lives inside the earth. And she said, you did this. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, I've never taken LSD. This is not like an acid flashback. What on earth happened? So I called my friend Wendy, who channels Metatron. And she goes, oh, well, maybe you're meant to channel her. And I said, listen to me. I saw the movie Ghost. I saw what happened to Whoopi. I'm not doing that thing where that guy comes in your body. He's like, what do you do to your hair? That's not happening. I'm not being taken over by any being. And she goes, yeah, it's not exactly like that. And I'm like, all right, I'll think about it. So Athena came to me and she said, let's do this training. So I got trained to be a channel. And then all of a sudden Hathor showed up, and Hathor had been in my life for a long time. So I was channeling Athena and then I was channeling Hathor. And then I started working with another mentor, and she goes, just open up and see who wants to channel through you. And all of a sudden these wings spread out from my back and it's Archangel Michael. And I'm talking in this voice and the room is like reverberating. And I'm like, what's going on? And then eventually Jesus showed up and I'm like, listen to me. I am not going to be that girl that is known as the one who channels Jesus. I am not doing that. No way. No way. Okay, yes. Because by the third time they ask you, eventually you have to say yes. So this is the whole thing. But when I read your records today, I won't remember. So there's a recording of this. It's being put on Facebook. If you come forth, please understand that you're going to be live on Facebook as well as recorded. If you don't want to do that, please let us know. No, thank you. I'm just here to watch. Or if you want a private reading, that can be arranged too. I and many of the people that I've trained are incredible with the records. Let's see, anything else? Okay, the questions that you want to ask are self-interested, not, why did my mother do that thing to me? You're trying to read your mother's records. Why did I choose to have a mother who abandoned me? Why did I choose to have such and such husband? Why am I so scared of this? Why am I obsessed with that? Why are trees my favorite thing in nature? Why am I terrified of being on a cruise ship? Why do I love snakes and I hate spiders? Things that are extreme for you, or even things that are really subtle for you. Those are the things that you want to ask, that the records will bring forth the information. And the masters, teachers, and loved ones, there are lords of the records, and they're kind of like the guardians of the guardians. And they work through the dimensions, because the records are different depending upon what dimension you're on. But the masters, teachers, and loved ones are the ones that you signed a soul contract with when you incarnated to have the experiences that you do. And there's a lot more to be said about that, but we'll blow through this whole half an hour. All right. Anything else, Priyanka?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, good. All right. So I want you to spin your magical psychic wheel of fortune, and please tell me who we're supposed to read today.
Shannon.
I knew that. I literally looked at her and I was like, oh, it's going to be Shannon.
Wow.
Hey, Shannon. Hi, sweetheart. Hi.
I'm so
Aw.
excited.
You're adorable. Look at your gorgeous chakra lotus painting behind you. Oh my God, I'm fascinated. That's so beautiful. I love that. I love that. Well, welcome. It's so funny. On my screen, you were right next to Priyanka, and they're like, Shannon. And I'm like, okay. And I breathed into you. So your guidance is already starting to move in. But here's what I need, my love. I need your full legal name as you would sign a legal document or sign your taxes.
Shannon McMillan,
And no middle name?
Michelle.
Shannon Michelle McMillan.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start the prayer. And here's what happens. I open my crown. I open my third eye. I open my throat, and I open my heart. Then I open your crown, your third eye, your throat, and your heart. And we come together like this and our hearts connect. And then that's when they'll come through. Part of the prayer is loud, part of the prayer is silent. And then your either master's teachers or loved ones are going to come through and deliver a message for you. So please have a question prepared. Okay. Ooh, they're already starting to come. So I'm going to go into prayer now. Okay. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, help me to know Shannon in the light of the Akashic records, to see Shannon through the eyes of the Lords of the records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Shannon have for her. The records are now open. Greetings, beloved one. Beloved one, we thank you for hearing our call. We thank you for coming forth, full well knowing that we would be in conscious communication with you. Oh, precious being of light, we do indeed adore you. Beloved one, how may we be of service to you?
Well, I've always wanted, ever since I can remember, I've always had a real fascination and obsession with paranormal, esoteric, and spirituality.
Indeed.
And why is that?
Well, you are experiencing, beloved one, what we would call past life bleed-throughs, in that for the many incarnations that you have had and the many lifetimes where you have practiced and dabbled and actually achieved mastery in these arts, they come through to you, and you come into a family as this beautiful young child full of innocence and yet having wisdom beyond your years. There is an animal in this house who is now yowling, for he senses our presence. Beloved, understand that there are certain books that you would read and you would say, this seems awfully familiar, because you had a hand in writing them. Understand that the gifts that you have, the natural knowings that you have, the sense that you have, your ability and your understanding and love of nature and of plants comes from much of the medicine work training that you had undergone. But understand that there is a hesitation for you, beloved, for many of the ways in which you had passed over, passed away, passed under, shall we say, for the gifts that you have had where you have been persecuted. There were swords and knives involved in some of these. There were a guillotine, a hanging, much that has had to do with the throat for what you have spoken. And for you to have the courage and the willingness to remember this, to allow yourselves to bring forth these gifts once again, means that you will have to make peace with many of these incarnations. But understand, beloved, that you had always had the choice to experience these. You were not the victim of these circumstances, although they seemed so at the time, but rather these were many of the varied energetic dynamics that you wish to experience because of the the ability and the capacity of your soul to be able to transmute these incidents. You have a hand with making crafts, with making objects. You would well understand the use and the love of the use of a pendulum, and the ability to be able to move objects, understanding that there is the ability to move objects with the mind rather than just with the hands. And this is something that lays dormant within you, that there is much magic afoot, that it is the family lineage that you have chosen to be born into. It is not only within your physical DNA, but also within your soul DNA, shall we say. And understand, beloveds, that it is as close as your fingertips to you. If you allow yourselves to breathe through, and the breath will indeed save you, breathe through what you have feared, you would allow this volley of gifts to flow forth from you once again. And you know this, beloved. There is nothing that we are telling you. These are conversations that we have with you often. You are bringing yourself to the forefront of understanding that this is accessible to you here and now. Does this give you peace in your heart, beloved?
Absolutely, it does.
Beloved, you have, as was stated by this beloved oracle, come to this situation, for you were drawn, you were compelled to come here. Trust that you are here for all of the right reasons. Trust that your prayers are being answered, and trust that this is the time when you are needed, beloved one. Your gifts are needed. There is much that happened in the lands of Ireland and Scotland. There is much that happened in what would be known as the lands of England. You journeying there, you would be drawn to the places where you have existed there before. You can look at a map. You can allow yourself to be drawn to a city. You can go within and think of a locale. You can see images of the highlands, and you will know and you will remember where your magic was left behind. Beloved, allow yourselves to remember. Allow your magic to resurface. We thank you for your audience. We thank you for your presence. And the time is indeed now. We will speak with you again. We love you beyond measure. And most importantly, beloved, we remember who you are, and we are here to remind you. We give you greetings and salutations, and we look forward to more. Okay, there's a closing prayer. Hold on. Whew. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the Lords of the Akashic Records for their point of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. The records are now closed, amen. I yawn when I go in and out of channeling. I don't know. It's just one of those things that I do. Priyanka, didn't you say one time that your son was practicing yawning like I do?
Yes.
The cutest thing ever. Shannon, I hope that was everything that you wanted and needed it to be, my love.
It was amazing, and especially because I didn't mention the plants and the herbs, and that came out. I mean, I'm
Oof, I
obsessed
got
with herbs,
goosebumps.
plants and
Yep.
gardening
Oof.
and working
Yeah.
that into my life. And
Yeah. They're
it
saying
was
that
spot
you're
on.
very, very, that you're very, very gifted in that there's like old knowledge and wisdom that you have inside of you. Mm, gorgeous. Gorgeous,
Beautiful.
gorgeous, gorgeous. Excuse me for 1 second. Yeah. So if any of you have any questions, anything that you'd like to ask, please raise your hand. Shannon, if there's anything more that I could tell you, it would be, step forth. Like it's literally all there for you, my love. It's absolutely all there for you. Jill?
Well, in the past few weeks, I've really, really been drawn to learning about the Akashics and learning to read.
So I'm going to give you two options just really quickly. There's a class that started last night. Christina is in that class. Laura Lee is in that class. Penny's in that class. How cute are you guys? Joyce and Christine are in another class that I'm finishing up this month. And then Jill and another incredible student of mine named Claire are going to be teaching together in November. The class just started last night. We can catch you up if you want to jump in. That's on Thursdays. The class they're teaching in November is going to be on Tuesdays. And then everybody who's completed this first class, I'm going to be teaching the second class, which is quantum communication. The first one's quantum healing. But if it's something that you'd like to do, we can absolutely catch you up. Will you do me a favor? Will you connect with Laura Lee?
Mhm.
Laura Lee, will you raise your hand? Will you two exchange like phone number, email, or something like that? And Laura Lee will connect you, and we'll get you hooked up, my love.
Perfect.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. They're still like lingering. They're jumping up and down. They're very excited. Your guidance literally brings you here, and they're literally, if they had elbows, they're like elbowing themselves out of the way to get to you. I'm breaking out in a sweat. So adorable. Jill, you want to ask a question, baby?
I just wanted to mention that sometimes when we go into the readings, the lords and loved ones and teachers suggest to deal with some of these energetic, she had a past life experiences. And I just wanted to let you all know, if that's something that you're interested in, you can contact to get people who will help assist you through these past life healings, and
Yeah.
they can hook you up to whoever, or you can
Okay.
learn to do it yourself. You're not just being thrown back out into the world without help.
Yeah. I have a whole community of people that I've trained who can help you with all these tools. And that they're stunning. We're revamping the website, and they're all going to be listed there. If you want to know about Reiki, if you want to know about Akashic records, if you want to deal with entities, if you want to deal with trauma, if you want to deal with past lives, future lives, simultaneous existences, everyone's going to kind of be listed by their specialty, but they've all been trained by me. And if they have my endorsement and I'm putting them out there, I promise you it is like the highest quality and caliber. So all that's available. Yeah, for sure.
I would love that.
Okay, great. Anything else? Ciara, you are adorable. I just want to say hey and welcome. You have so much light flying out of your third eye. Really beautiful. Thank you for being here. What's happening that you can feel your ears popping? So when people are blocked with their clairvoyance or their clairaudience, I have them go into their third eye. And the third eye is the eye that sees inward. So if your ears are popping right now, there's some of your clairaudience that's opening up and coming back online for you. So that's when you get messages from spirit that aren't the voices that you hear on the outside, they're the voices that you hear on the inside. Okay, let's see. Were there any other questions? Goosebumps. Ostrogobulus is weird. Oh, I love that. I love that. Hot and cold flashes down my back. Yep. Oof. Gorgeous. Oh gosh, that's my mother. Can't take that. Sorry, Mom. We'll have to call you back. I have felt my clairs alive and kicking for years. You hear things, see things, sense things, smell things. Exactly. So when you smell things, that's called clair alliance. When you're able to taste things from spirit, that's called clair gusto. And there's a woman that I trained to read the Akashic Records. Her name is Kathy Mammal, and she's an unbelievably gifted psychic and medium. She does tarot readings online. And when I trained her, it was an online training because she doesn't live near me, but she sat there and for 15 minutes, I have people go into their Akashic Records, and she literally had tears streaming right down the middle of her face. And I thought, oh, this is either a really good thing or a really bad thing. So she came out and I said, Kathy, how was that? And she said, Lynn, short of the birth of my son and then the birth of my daughter, I've never had a more profound, like loving spiritual experience in my life. She said, I could smell them, I could taste them, I could hear them, I could feel them, I could see them. Like I just knew who they were. And she said, I just was in awe of them. When you go into the records, when you learn to go into the records, it's truly one of the most incredible, profound, and loving experiences that you'll ever have. Really, really, really amazing. All right, my darlings. Well, thank you all for being here. You're welcome back anytime. Did Elliot left? Oh, okay. It's always my delight. I love doing this. It's truly one of my favorite things to do. It used to not be, but I have transformed it. You're so very welcome. You're so very welcome, Ciara. I have worked diligently on myself for the past 33 years to be able to present the cleanest and clearest, most ethical version of myself that's possible. And you know, I'm still here, so there's still shit I'm working on. So there you go. Channel Jesus and I curse a lot. Part of my charm. I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You bless my day heading into Shabbat. Mwah.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. It's great to have you here, my love. How's
Thank
Hawaii
you.
today? Gorgeous
Beautiful.
as ever. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Right on. All
Right.
right, everybody.
Have a
Thank you.
good day.
Much love. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you all soon. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Bye. Jen.
Shannon, we'll talk to you soon. Hi, Christine.
Bye. Bye. Hi. Bye, Lynn.
Bye, my love.
Love you.
See you soon. Okay. Bye,
Yeah.
girls. I'll meet you
Bye.
over in admin. Okay, bye.